So yeah, I guess man, just I guess opening statement. I think overall as a group, you're seeing improvement. It's pretty exciting because it's a lot of new faces, and it's a lot of opportunity for guys. And I think so far a week and a half through camp, you got to see guys in different situations and seeing how guys are reacting. And there's been a lot of growth so far, but we got to continue to push through.
What have you?
Go ahead.
What have you seen from Malik and his progression, especially since the spring?
I think it's been more of a mindset shift and like maturity. His approach to the game, how am I preparing from a mental side of it, from the physical side of it. He has a lot of tools, a length, athleticism that he has, but his biggest growth so far has been in the film room, has been his alignments, his assignments, things that take no talent, but you got to actually study and be on that. So that's where we've seen his biggest growth at.
How have you seen Anthony continue to grow in that as his position change?
With the position change, I think probably more just from a technique and fundamental standpoint of it. He had a really good grasp of the defense from a conceptual, like, that's a credit to Coach Capone and having the corners clued in. And typically, your corners are like, kind of out there. But, you got to know what we're doing as a defense. And his transition has been more of a, man, my technique is a little bit different. I'm back a little bit further. Plays develop, and I have time to react. So just getting used to the spacing, the angles, I think all of that. He's really, I think, in the last week has grown in terms of that, and he looks really comfortable at the position now.
In your mind, what's Bo done? I mean, at the end of last year, he came on.
Mm-hmm.
What clicked in and
I think it was just I think it was just repetition. He was a guy that got here in the summertime in June, and it just took him time in terms of, man, we do some different things defensively in terms of techniques and assignments and alignments that are different than typically what you do in high school. So by the time he got there, he had plenty of reps during the bowl prep, and I think that's kind of what led to him kind of having the end of the season that he had.
What are you expecting from him this year?
Man, I got high expectations for everybody. You know what I mean? I think the expectation is at the position. So whether it's you're the star, you're the free, you're the strong. Like, man, when you're on the field, we expect nothing but excellence. So I think he has high expectations for himself, but it's just like anybody else in my mind.
We got a pretty good idea that Ant and Bo are going to be two of the starters. How's the depth chart look at that other spot, and who are the guys there?
So we've been repping Travion McGee, Trayvon Howard. Those have been guys that have been repping at that third spot to the boundary. And it's been, man, you saw some flashes of guys being able to compete. We kind of let those guys get some roles with the ones and see if they can hang with those guys. And it was really impressive that, man, you're either going to rise up or you're not. And I think those two guys, for a true freshman that got here in the winter, he didn't go through spring ball. It was all mental for him, for Trayvon Howard. Travion McGee got here in this summer, and to see where they're at already, I think is really encouraging for depth purposes.
So they're 1 and 2 at that
Who's that?
spot? The two you just mentioned.
No, I just think it's been a rotation with Malik as well. So I think, man, my biggest deal is giving them guys opportunity to see if they can, play at that level. So you're not a 3, you're not a 2. Like, my biggest deal is, man, we got to create the depth because everybody has to be ready to play.
Going back to Bo for a minute, he's a 4-point. Does that get in the way of football?
No, not for him. He's so advanced and so mature where, man, you don't have to worry about him academically. He's going to spend just as much time studying the playbook, studying the film, that he's that type of kid where time management, he's on point. He's meeting with his tutors, and he has everything scheduled out, and it's really impressive that. And I think the overlap you're seeing is that, man, once he figures it out, he can roll and he can go, and I don't think it takes away from what he can do from a football standpoint.
Does his off the field, I guess you'd say, intelligence lead to him maybe asking more questions? Lead to him asking maybe more questions in the film room, or?
Yeah, he's very curious, and I think when you're curious like that, you get answers, and for him, man, he always wants to have an answer and have a plan for what he's trying to do. So, and I encourage guys, man, speak up. Like, if there's no dumb questions. So for him, it's like, man, like, what can I know? What is he doing? What is he doing? And if he knows where everybody fits in the defense, I think it just helps him play faster.
You were a straight 4-point here, right?
Gosh, I graduated.
Yeah, I know.
Trayvon Howard,
Yep.
He played in an elite program last year, got here in the winter,
Yep.
spring ball. How much did his high school experience kind of prepare him for this step?
Man, I think it helped him a lot in terms of the expectation of coming in, man. All the meetings that we have, the structure of it, hey, you got to walk through. I think all of that he's been very familiar with. So coming into it, I think that's really helped. And then I think when you look at some of the techniques, the terminology that we use, it's been an easy overlap for him to kind of transition into our defense. Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right.